discussion? Wait a minute. Cause, no question. Sit down. You can stand up if you want. Sit that down. Wait a minute. I can't have you playing the game. This didn't happen at the meeting, the town meeting. Where's the speaker? Point of order! I can't hear you guys.
And laws of the state.
Thank you.
And the laws of the state,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Appreciate that.
Was there public comment on nominating this moderator? This is the same moderator from the last town meeting that wasn't voted in like it was in this one.
The meeting will be in order. For those
Not with this guy.
who make a noise. The meeting will be in order. For those who don't know, my name is Nolan Blake. I'm the moderator from West Alderman. I'm up the river to do this meeting tonight to try to get the town hall, Brownfield back in business. Now,
Interesting.
I'm required to say that this meeting will be governed by the rules of the Maine Moderator's Manual. The Maine Moderator's Manual incorporates provisions of Maine state law, MRSA 2524. Ordinarily, I run a looser ship. Tonight, as you can see, we have no audio system. We have a whole bunch of people here, and we've got a lot to do. I will remind everyone that MRSA 2524 states that a person may not speak before being recognized by the moderator. In particular, there is always a tendency, and I've been there too, I've done it, for folks for the voters in the seats to want to chat to the person next to them or in front of them or behind them. Over a short period of time, the noise level gets higher and higher, and people can't hear what's going on, and it's unfair to your fellow voters, besides being unlawful. 2524 states all persons shall be silent at the moderator's command. That means when I do something like that, please be immediately quiet. If you happen to be recognized and be speaking, just stop. It usually means that somebody's making a ruckus and I've got to settle them down, and I'll be right back to you. A non-voter, a non-registered voter, may not speak without the approval of 2/3 of the House. I'm assuming we may not need to worry about that tonight. And the part that I don't particularly care for, 2524 allows the moderator to have a law enforcement type person escort from the meeting and hold in custody until the meeting is adjourned any person who has great difficulty coming to order. I've been running public meetings. I'm in my 4th decade now. I have had one person in that period of time escorted out officially. I didn't want to do it. There are, I think, 1,600 to 1,700 residents in Brownfield. My guess is there's 900 or 1,000 registered voters. And how many do we think we have here tonight? We've got 107, so we have about 176 registered voters here tonight. You are the people who really care about Brownfield. You are the people who sacrificed your time to come here to vote. And I certainly don't want anyone to lose that opportunity. Now, having said all that, I'd like to start this meeting out on the right foot, perhaps something we can all agree on. If everyone would please rise and we could show our appreciation to the flag of our nation. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, he does that.
All right. When you do get called upon to speak, again, we got no audio and not very good acoustics in this room, and most of us have elderly used up eardrums, so I'm going to ask you to stand right up straight if you can, and take a deep breath and say your piece. Okay, let's move to Article 2 to see if the town will vote to dispense with the checklist. Do I have a motion? Second. Second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of Article 2 as presented? Those opposed? Article 2 is accepted. Article 3. I'm going to read the article. The article was essentially presented by the selectmen. They went back and did work on this. First thing I'm going to do is recognize a couple of the selectmen to explain the article, their thought process, and then we're going to open it up to questions and comments from you folks. Article 3, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $906,465 for payroll and benefits. We have a listing of how the select board wants to break it down, and you notice a new thing underneath. It says select board proposes $32,000 from the health insurance reserve to offset the budget, and total with the reserve would be $874,465. But the article itself is $906,465. Do we have a motion? Move it. Is there a second? Second. Okay, we've got it on the floor for discussion. Now, Rick, would you like to explain what your thought process was? Speak right up, don't be shy.
I'm not too sure. All right, at the town meeting, Article 3 had failed. Motion was, or an amendment was made to go to last year's payroll number. That failed. And then we had the failure of the 906. According to the town's attorney, when the amendment failed, we had no choice because we didn't have any payroll. Meaning, July 1st, with no payroll, there would be no town service. So, in discussion with the town's attorney, we had a 7-day notification to get an article out for your vote. There was a dead heat at the 48 and 48 at the town meeting for the 906 original article, but whereas dead heat, it fails. It always goes to the failure. So, Thursday, we spent some time, looked at what we had, and we had the availability of $32,000 from the healthcare reserve to drop the raise and appropriate of 906 to 874.
Rick, if I can just slow you down for a minute. Sir, this is a public meeting. Yes, you and everyone else is allowed to record audio and video at the public meeting, but no one may do so in such a way as to cause a distraction at the meeting or to interfere with the moderator's view of any of the voters or the voters' view of the front row. Please find an inconspicuous spot, perhaps up against the wall.
I introduced myself to Rick. I'm Tommy from the Tommy Son.
Makes no difference, sir. If you'll stand right up against the wall, get a nice spot. You, sir, please.
Inconspicuous.
You're not inconspicuous enough. Again, I'm gonna ask you folks to find a good place to be.
It's hard to hear you.
And find a good place to be and stay there.
I'm gonna move around.
No, you're not. You'll be out of order if I consider it a distraction.
That's the best spot.
It's not negotiable, it's not a discussion. Rick, please continue. That's all you got to say? Vince, I know you wanted to say something.
Well, yeah, I mean, what we have to consider is, you know, inflation has gone up, prices have gone up for people. So definitely raises would be in order, or else without a raise, people are actually going backwards, the employees. So, you know, I mean, the labor market right now, if you look at the Conway Sun, it's pages of people looking for workers. So it's highly competitive market. The people we have been trained, dedicated, and they show up and they work. I don't know what else to say except, you know, if you're sick, don't come into the town office because the town office has been closed this year for a couple of days, and be considerate of that. But yeah, it should be considered that, you know, prices have gone up and people need to increase wages.